So the New York Times has a new poll out that gives some very encouraging information to Democrats. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So the New York Times and Siena College conducted their final poll of the 2022 campaign. They found, as polls have been showing repeatedly, that it seems like in the generic ballot, Republicans have moved slightly ahead. And it seems like the issues seem to favor Republicans, with abortion becoming less important to people than some of the economic concerns they have. But the one thing that Republicans can't escape is the reality that the candidates still matter. And guess what? The Democrats have the better candidates. Let's check out some of this data. Right here, we have polling regarding the House. These are 4 House districts that were deemed competitive. Check out these results. In this district, which Trump won by 3 in 2020, in Pennsylvania, the Democrat is leading by 6 points. In this poll in Kansas, that Biden won by 4 points, the Democrat is leading by 14 points. And it's worth noting that in both these districts, the Democrat is above 50%. And then in these other 2 districts that Biden won by slightly larger margins, the Democrat is either leading by a point or it's tied. Now, this runs directly counter to the narrative that's out there that the Democrats are in big trouble in the House. I'm not going to pretend that in this environment, the odds are the Republicans will take the House. But what I am going to say is the same dynamic that's in play in the Senate is also in play in the House. Despite Republican efforts to gerrymander the House districts as much as possible, ironically, we actually have a relatively even districting for the House. In other words, if the vote is 50-50, then the Democrats and the Republicans should each end up with about 50% of the seats. And in fact, there's more than one scenario that shows that in a scenario like that, the Democrats might actually end up with the majority, despite the fact that they don't win a clear majority of the votes. So this is coming down to a district-by-district battle where candidate quality matters. Now let's also see the finding of these polls in the key Senate races. In Arizona, Mark Kelly is above 50%, leading by 6 points against Blake Masters. John Fetterman also up by 6 points, almost at 50% in Pennsylvania. And in Georgia, Raphael Warnock leads Herschel Walker by 3 points, also almost at 50%. Nevada is tied, so it's all going to be about turnout there. And we have to hope that the strong union presence in Nevada is going to matter there. The point is, though, if Democrats win 3 of these seats and everything else goes about as expected across the country, then the Democrats maintain their 50-50 position in the Senate and maintain control of the Senate. Again, this runs totally contrary to the narrative that's out there about the Democrats being in big trouble, because right now, the Democrats are leading in those 3 key districts. What's more, is a particularly interesting finding from this House poll is that in many of these districts, the majority actually favors, in theory, the Republicans taking control of the House. And yet, they're favoring the Democratic candidate for Congress. If this seems incongruous to you, the only explanation for it is that while the issues environment and the political environment favors Republicans generally, on a candidate-by-candidate basis, the Democrats have better candidates than the Republicans. And people across the country are rejecting the kind of extremism that the Republican candidates represent. Now is not the time to throw up your hands and get frustrated. Now is the time to go out and get out the vote. Reports are that young people are turning out in high numbers. And that should also give us encouragement because, again, younger people tend to be more liberal. And if they're showing up, then that will change the dynamic of the electorate, potentially giving Democrats a chance in many places where they might not have had a chance otherwise. Midterm elections, as has been said before, are about turnout. And according to this data, the Democrats are not out of the game by any stretch of the imagination, given the strength of our candidates and the fact that Republicans are so far out of the mainstream. We just need to make sure that Democrats get out to vote, and we stand a pretty good chance of holding on to Congress. Well, if you want to see a video I did quite a while ago where I talk about just how extreme the Republican Party has become, check out this video over here. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.